let's talk about money. Now, in this video, this is not for you if you have kind of like a negative view towards money, or if you have some sort of associations that produce a very negative feeling about money, then this video is not for you, right? This is for you if, for example, one of three things this video could be for you. Like number one, maybe you are watching other people crushing it in their income goals. They are getting raises, they are producing more wealth in their lives, and you kind of see them and you can't help it but to compare yourself to them, and you want to increase your income and meet your income goals as well. Or the second reason this could resonate with you is that you have in the past increased your income, and you are right now at a level where it is producing a decent level of income, but right now you are worried about, well, whether or how to expand to the next level of your income generating activities. Now, the third reason this video could be for you is in the arena of growth, right? For example, you're experiencing financial growth right now in your career, but the more you up level, the more that you experience some drama happening in your life. It could be in the relationships, it could be in your health, it could be more anxieties and stressors as well, right? So for one of these three reasons, if something I said resonates with you, then this video is for you. Because what I want to share with you is, how do you increase your income doing what you love so that it is an automatic ability to increase your income? By the way, I want to hear from you, so comment below this video, give me a comment and let me know. Which one are you? Which one resonates with you of the scenarios that I have explained? Or is there a third one that the reason why you have clicked through to watch this video? I want to hear from you as well. So comment below. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 untold reasons why your income is not growing. And then I'm going to follow that by 3 principles, each principles on how you can grow your income so that you can continue to provide for yourself, protect for your loved one, and protect your loved one's futures as well. Right? So untold reason number 1 is this myth that we are programmed to believe. It is the belief that income is primarily determined by the economy. Right? And so that is the first untold reason. And the key is to understand that this is what we have been believing, that our income is the way it is. There's nothing we can do about it because of the economy. The economy is not doing well. The economy in this industry is not doing well, right? And so that is the number 1 untold reason why our income is growing. So what's the principle behind this? The principle is to understand that our income is not primarily determined by the economy, but instead our income is primarily determined by our personal philosophy. And the thing is, we are programmed, right? And when we have that myth of being primarily determined by the economy, we have this philosophy that we got to wait. We have to wait for the government to come in to develop policies and a way of helping us with our finances. For example, it could be waiting for them to increase the minimum wage, or it could be waiting for them to provide tax benefits, right? So that's one way we've been programmed to believe in our personal philosophies, that we got to wait for the government or some authoritative body outside of us to come in and protect us. Or the second way this plays out, when we have this untold reason, the second way this plays out is we have this personal philosophy that we must work even harder, that we must work harder to produce so that we can increase our income. And this is the philosophy of focusing primarily on our performance and our productivity. And it's from that foundation of the pre-programmed belief that our finances, our income is determined by the economy. And that philosophy is there because it got there by default. If you think about it, the personal philosophy that you've been living your life by, you have been, all decisions we make, all beliefs that we have had stem from our personal philosophy. And they've gotten there by default. And we didn't think about them. We didn't take the time to question them or to design what we are going to hold true as our personal philosophy. So therefore, the philosophies we've been living by when it comes to producing the income we have got there by default. So I'm here to impress upon you that instead of subconsciously being guided by a personal philosophy by default, instead, gear more towards a personal philosophy by design. Not by default, but by design. So therefore, you can from this moment forward, live by a personal philosophy that is your choice, and not one that got there because of someone else telling you the way it is or the way things should be. And this is one example where I want to show you what is an example of a personal philosophy by choice. And the personal philosophy is a philosophy of wealth. So what does that mean? What is a philosophy of wealth? Adopt for yourself a philosophy of wealth, meaning this is where you want to answer the question of how can I be of service to many people by doing something that I actually love to do, that is within my interests, my passions. It's something that is truly inspiring to me so that I can get handsomely rewarded for what I am providing, the service and the value that I'm providing to as many people out there as possible. So if this resonates with you and you are thinking to yourself, okay, that makes sense, because the more people you serve using your knowledge and your experience, the more you can exchange the value out there. And money earned is a byproduct of value created. And imagine if you can serve a lot of people, but you enjoy doing that thing too, and it is truly inspiring to you. Now you have created a life path where you're doing something profound with your life, but at the same time, you're being handsomely rewarded to it financially. So if you're wondering, well, how do I figure this out? And if you're sitting here, you're nodding your head and saying, yes, this is it. And you can sense that that is the principle to increasing your income, but you're still wondering to yourself, how do I figure that out? How do I implement this? Then I invite you to book a call with me. In the video description below, there's a link to book a call with me and to explore whether or not it is the right fit for me to coach you and mentor you so that you can develop your career path, your most inspired and lucrative career path. If you're serious about having help from me as your mentor, then I invite you to book a call below, and I look forward to speaking with you on the inside. This is not for you if you're not sure whether you want to increase your income, if you're not committed to putting in the work, or definitely if you're not committed to investing in yourself, then this is not for you. Right? This is only for you if you're serious about it. You're committed, you are decisive that yes, this is the year that I'm going to increase my income and I'm going to invest in my growth. I'm going to invest in my knowledge. Then this is for you, and I look forward to speaking with you on the inside. So there's 2 more untold reasons and 2 more principles to go. So if you liked what I'm hearing, you like what I'm saying, then I also invite you to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell as well so that you can receive a notification every time I release a new video. The second untold reason why your income is not growing is that there is another belief happening, and that is the belief that time is money, right? And be honest with yourself. Have you ever heard that before? That time is money, right? You gotta save money because time is money. How many of you have heard that before? And we have just adopted that belief, that philosophy, and we don't even know where it came from. And society is filled with that belief in terms of time is money. And that means that phrase in and of itself, the belief that time is money, means that we value money more than time. And I can prove the point as well, right? Have you ever, and be honest with yourself, have you ever, for example, drove a whole hour just to save 10 cents per liter on gas, on petrol for the car? Or have you ever lined up for hours and hours just to have a 30% off discount on the shopping items that you were waiting for? And so that's what it means when we say that time is money. We're valuing money much more than we value our time. And so we will go to great lengths. We will spend a whole lot of our time just to save a little bit of money. And that's what causes this belief that time is money causes you to spend a whole lot of time also doing tasks that aren't inspiring to you, that aren't a high priority to you, and that build other people's dreams. We're building someone else's dream instead of our own. Or it also causes us to try to impress somebody else so that other people might give us the opportunity to grow. And the outcome of all of these things that I described is one thing. The outcome is that we wonder, where did all the time go? All of a sudden, the whole year has gone by, years have turned into decades, and then we wonder to ourselves, where did the time go? And that is the essence of the outcome that happens when we value money more than time. When we believe that money is time, this is exactly what happens. The outcome is that it just passes us by. We're spending so much of our time just to save a little bit of money, just to make a little bit more money. And so we wonder, why? Where's the time gone? And why haven't I achieved something of great value to me? And so what can you do here? This is the principle, the untold reason number 2, why our income is not growing. So what can we do? What can we do about it? And here's the key, is to realize that time is not money. It's a myth that has been programmed to us. Another default, philosophy by default that I shared with you earlier. Time is not money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. You know, most people who approach me, who have watched my YouTube videos, or maybe they listen to my podcast, they approach me and they say, Dr. Grace, I want so much to make a change for myself. I want so much to break the habits, the old habits that I have. I want to develop better habits. I want to become a better version of myself. I want to be able to make the kind of money that I can provide for myself and my loved ones. And yet, in the same breath that they want to do these things, they're afraid to invest their money into what's important. They're afraid to spend that money. They're afraid, essentially, they hesitate to invest in themselves. So they're afraid, for example, to invest in coaching, to invest in getting the proper education, the right help to take their life to the next level. And because they're afraid to let go of the money. And I'm raising my hand too. I was guilty of this when I first began my career after college. I was afraid to spend money to invest in myself, into coaching and mentorship, because I was afraid to let go of the money. And I would rather spend my time than money. And that's when you are caught up in that storm of how can you increase your income if time is money? How can you possibly do that? If you are going to spend all of your time just to save a little bit of money, it's not money for growth. It's just saving a little bit of money. It's just making a little bit more money, building someone else's dream. But here's the truth. If you run out of money, you can always get more money. You can always make more money. But if you run out of time, you cannot get more time. You cannot make more time. Time is what life is made of. So here's what you can do about it. The key, the essence of how you get out of this, the essence of how you can break through, reason number 3, is to use your money. Use as much of your money as you can that is necessary to buy back your time. You see, investing in yourself, investing in the right help, investing in the right coach, that's going to buy back your time, because now you don't need to spend your own time trying to figure things out. You don't need to spend your own time going through trial and error, trying a bunch of different things, and then not knowing what to do next and trying to troubleshoot the challenges that come along the way. That takes a whole lot of your time. But you buy back your time when you invest in a coach who's done it, who's helped other people do it as well, and coaches who have that philosophy that they can help you to break through belief patterns, bad old habits that aren't serving you. So you buy back your time with money, and that is the single most important thing that you can do for yourself, is invest your money so that you can have more time, because time is what life is made out of. Right? So reason number 1 is the philosophy that my income is directly proportionate to the economy. Right? Reason number 2 why income is not growing is because of the belief that time is money and putting more value in money compared to time. What's reason number 3? Right? By the way, I encourage you, if you're serious about how to invest in yourself and how to apply this in your life, that is still open. My offer is still open to click the link below and book a call with me. So this leads us to reason number 3. Reason number 3 is that we have been adopting by default, once again, a permission-based operating modality. What do I mean by that? We have been born and raised in a society, born and raised in systems, educational systems, government systems, and so on, where we must seek permission in order to do what we are inspired to do. We must seek permission in order to pursue what is a high value to us. We're programmed to do as we're told. We're programmed to follow directions, and in so doing, we feel that we must impress another person so that when we follow the direction, then hopefully they will grant us opportunities. Hopefully, they will open the door for us. That is a permission-based operating modality. So what do we do then? What happens is if you're waiting for someone to give you that permission, who else will care more about your life progression than you? Who else will be able to be beside you 24/7? In terms of understanding the depths of what you value, the detail of what you're passionate about. Who else can do that but you? Who else can make the decisions for you except you? So by the essence of putting that into another person's power, giving them power to ask for permission and wait for that permission to be granted first. And also that causes us to not be able to think for ourselves. Because let's face it, have you ever been in a situation where you had a dilemma? This was an important decision for your life and your career, yet you didn't know which way to decide. This has caused a pandemic of being unable to make important life and career decisions. When we just are programmed to follow directions, when we are just programmed to do as we're told, it causes a pandemic of individuals, even college-educated career individuals, who are unable to make important life decisions that they don't regret later on. So what do we do here? The key is to adopt an entrepreneur mindset, right? We are used to having what is called an employee mindset. An employee mindset does as they are told. It is waiting for someone else to give us directions, waiting for someone else to give us a structure on here's what you do first, here's what you do next, and then waiting for someone else to give us the opportunity to grow and to have more opportunities. We're waiting. This is a permission-based modality. Instead, adopting an entrepreneur mindset means that we are actively and proactively identifying important problems that you can solve, and then create and also communicate solutions for them. And that is the essence of what an entrepreneur does and who an entrepreneur is. They are problem solvers. They don't wait for people to tell them which problems to solve. They don't wait for people to give them a structure on how to solve the problem in a specific way. They seek to identify problems. And it's not just enough to identify the problem, you must be able to articulate the problem. Because if you can't come up with words for it, if you don't have a word to describe it, you're not going to be able to get that buy-in to solve that problem. You're not going to be able to get that buy-in to work with others, to collaborate with others, to have the resources necessary to solve that problem. So it's not enough to just identify problems. We must also be able to effectively articulate the problem that we have identified. And then the converse is also true. It's not enough just to create solutions that solve those problems. We must also articulate the solutions we have created, because that is how we can persuade others effectively to adopt our recommendations and to buy into our ideas. When we effectively communicate the value of what we have to bring so much that they are willing and grateful to accept the value that we have communicated, that we have revealed to them. So once again, knowledge is just knowledge. I want you to move away from knowledge gathering stage and move on to the application. So comment below and tell me. I want to hear from you. What is the biggest takeaway that you've had from this video? Are there some things that I said that you've never heard before? Or some things that I've said that you sort of heard something like that before, but never articulated in this way? Because I want to hear from you. And I look forward always, if you have subscribed to my channel, I look forward to hanging out with you in my next video.